Welcome to the A-side for February 2018. I am going to tell you about the albums I'm looking forward to, a tiny bit of music news, and some really cool records I should be getting in February. You know the drill, stick around. Hey guys, 4 records coming out this month that I'm pretty excited to listen to. Let me tell you what they are. First up, we have Rhye's second album, Blood. If you don't know Rhye's album, Woman, you need to stop this video right now. I know that's sacrilegious. I know I want your views. Stop it. Go listen to it. It is some of the best indie R&B out there. Smooth voice, amazing instrumentation. It has this vibe to it that it's really hard to capture. It's so sultry and I love it. I would love to see Rhye live. And the new album, Blood, is coming out this month. So super excited. I already have it on pre-order. This guy can't really do wrong, so I have no doubt this album's gonna crack my top 10 this year just because I'm so stoked to hear more of that sound. Justin Timberlake, Man of the Woods. By the time this video comes out, it actually might already be out, so my opinion will be given in the B-side. I'm recording this at the end of January, so that is why I haven't talked about it yet. But I'm excited as a Justin Timberlake fan. I'm nervous as someone who's heard the singles. We'll see. Chigga is coming out with his first album, Amen. Chigga is an Indonesian comedian / rapper, and his rap persona has kind of taken over in terms of blowing him up worldwide. He put out a couple singles, the first one being Dat Stick, and it blew up on YouTube so hard that he actually started touring as a musician. And some of his music is very, very good. I mean, I got to see him at the Fonda not too long ago, and the show was very impressive. He had great energy, great crowd banter, and the crowd was super into it. I felt like I was almost too old. I saw the crowd losing their mind for a younger artist that was kind of their generation, like I would have done maybe 10 years ago. And I was just watching in amazement that this is kind of a movement that I'm not really a part of, but I can definitely appreciate. So I'm excited to hear his full album. Hopefully he can pull it off. If it's as good as the first couple singles he's put out, I think it's going to be a worthy addition to the albums this year. Finally, our boys from Glasgow, Franz Ferdinand, are releasing Always Ascending, their next LP. I'm a huge fan of these guys. I think their first 3 albums are stellar indie rock albums that will stand the test of time. Their 4th album, also very good, maybe not as good, but I'm really excited to see what they bring for the 5th album. I love Alex's voice, and I think the whole band is just so talented that there's going to be at least a couple songs in there I like, at the worst case. I think I'm going to love the album though. We'll see. Here's some exciting news. My boy, Sufjan Stevens, got nominated for an Oscar. There's a chance that the Oscars, Sufjan Stevens is going to make a speech, and damn it, I hope he does, because that would be a speech that I would be stoked to watch. The Call Me By Your Name original soundtrack is getting incredible praise from critics and fans alike. Sufjan curated the soundtrack along with Ryuichi Sakamoto, and he has a couple original tracks on there too. So if you haven't heard the soundtrack yet, this is a must listen. I'm really excited. I hope he wins. Fingers crossed for you, Suf. We'll see what happens at the Oscars. Now for records coming in. I'll just tie in with the news. I am going to be getting the Call Me By Your Name original soundtrack. Now, there was a limited version, limited to 1,000 copies on blue vinyl. I ordered it from Barnes & Noble. From their listing that said blue vinyl, they lied. They didn't get any copies in, or at least enough copies to fulfill my order that was super early. Canceled it on me after it was sold out everywhere. I was pissed. If you'd imagine me being angry, which doesn't happen very often on this channel, I was angry. I called them and I was like, what is going on? Why would you guys list this and then cancel it after it was too late to get it? They were very unhelpful. I'm probably not going to purchase anything with Barnes & Noble again. But I was lucky enough to grab the second variant that came out. Amoeba and Newberry Comics did a split variant limited to 500 on yellow vinyl, which I gotta get some limited variant of this soundtrack. I have one on the way, thankfully, unless that gets canceled too. I don't think it will. My friend Jess alerted me to a musician that apparently I have been sleeping on for a few years named Tash Sultana. She is an Australian musician with one of the most unique voices and impressive guitar chops I've seen since St. Vincent. I love her Notion EP. I have the EP on the way on green vinyl. She is supremely talented. I would love to see her live, and she just gets into her music. I was watching a live performance. It's not fake at all. Her persona is just pure love for what she's doing, as well as unbridled talent. So if you don't know Tash Sultana, check out the song Jungle. Lose your mind. My King Gizzard Gumboot Soup should be coming in, the record I got from Flightless. I got the orange and black swirl, looks like a cool jack-o'-lantern that's all psychedelic. Really excited for that. That was tied for my favorite King Gizzard release last year with Polygon and Wonderland. My Vinyl Moon Volume 30 is going to be coming in. Very excited to see what those crazy cats come up with. I have been asking for this for so long. Hopefully it arrives February. I'm not entirely sure based on the release date on the site, but I have been asking for Caro Caro Bonito on vinyl since I saw them 3 years ago live. Back in 2015 when I did Artist of the Month, Caro Caro Bonito was one of our Artists of the Month. I had seen the band about 2 months after that, and I met Sarah after the show, and she said that she saw and watched the video. They were a lot smaller at the time, so it makes a lot of sense. But they put on a terrific show, super nice, and the second time I saw them about a year and a half ago, saw her again after the show, we talked for a bit. I told her you need to put your music on vinyl. I was freaking out about it. I mentioned it to her on Instagram. She's like, I know, we're trying. Finally, Bonito Generation is getting a vinyl release. I saw it go up on their website in the morning. I snagged it. By the afternoon, it was all sold out. They're probably gonna do multiple pressings, but 500 copies sold so quick because they're some of the best British J-pop hybrid electronic music I've ever heard. I'm super excited to have this fun, great music on vinyl. Thank you, Sarah and KKB, for finally putting it out. Thank you for letting me buy it, and I can't wait to spin it. Hammock, one of my favorite modern ambient projects, has a bunch of albums that are out of print. One of those is called Oblivion Hymns. It's been out of print for a while. It goes for 50, 60 bucks. They just put up a couple copies of Deadstock on their Bandcamp, and I was lucky enough to grab one. So excited to own this. It's not the colored version, unfortunately, but just having this on vinyl is a mandatory thing because they are just some of the most beautiful, peaceful music I've ever heard. If you don't know Hammock, highly recommend. Purchased something weird on eBay the other day. Apparently, back in the 80s, I believe, maybe early 90s, I think it was the 80s, over in Japan, they released a flexi disc, which is, if you aren't familiar, it's like a thin piece of PVC or plastic that has grooves cut into it and you can listen to music on it. It's kind of a novelty. They don't sound great, but I bought this because it's very rare and I got it for about half the price it goes for. It was a Final Fantasy II flexi disc. So basically, they had a bunch of tracks, not long ones, maybe a total of 10 minutes of music, on the flexi disc from Final Fantasy II as some promo they did in Japan. Final Fantasy II is not my favorite of the Final Fantasy games, but having any Final Fantasy music on vinyl is something that I am trying to grow my collection of. So the fact that I saw this pop up and it was a reasonable price, I bought it. Hopefully it doesn't sound like ass. And finally, as I mentioned last month, Elusive Sounds has Black Between Darkness and Light. Their newest release, they sent it over to me for me to look at. Did not arrive yet because it came from overseas. So hopefully I can show it off in the B-side this month. Really good, heavy, shoegazy, post-rock, almost black metal at times, really good stuff. I'll show it off this month. That's the A-side. What albums are you looking forward to this month that I should probably put on my radar? What are you looking to get this month vinyl-wise, or what do you think you're going to be getting in? Fill me in, let me know. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, please subscribe. As you know, more videos very soon.